Angie from Canterbury Trails Farm, and I meant to post this video a little earlier for St. Patrick's Day, but things got away from me and I just didn't get it finished, so I'm going ahead and put it up now. It doesn't have to be for St. Patrick's Day. Basically, I'm loom knitting a top hat, and the idea was I was going to have it with this little St. Patrick's Day bear, and I was going to have the bear sitting against the top hat, and I didn't get it done because I had other stuff going on. We had the big storm, and we had some pipes burst in the house out at the homestead, and just a lot of other things have been happening, so I just didn't get to this one. So I'm going to do it now, and you don't have to use it for St. Patrick's Day. Technically, a leprechaun hat is more of a derby than a top hat, but it's hard to get that rounded top when you're doing a hat for a leprechaun, so I always do a top hat. But this can also be used for, if you did it all solid black for President's Day, for like Abraham Lincoln. I was going to do it in solid black, but I didn't have any solid black, and I try not to buy things that I don't need if I have something else that works, so I was going to use this black and white yarn to do it instead. So it sort of reminds me of the hat that Dipsy wore in Teletubbies. That's a long time ago, but so it's a real simple project, and essentially I use these. You could use the other 7-inch, approximately 7-inch regular loom that comes with the standard set, but I have one that has the extra pegs. So this one has the 62 pegs, but the other 7-inch with the wider spaces between would look fine. Because I didn't have a thicker yarn, I had to use this narrower cotton yarn, so that's why I went with the loom with the more pegs, so there's no spaces in between my ribs. So first thing you're going to need to do, and I use the 62 peg, this is the base of the hat, we'll get back to that, but the body of the hat and the top part of the hat, I used a 44 peg loom, and that's the one that's also approximately a 5-inch loom. On the standard set it will have less pegs. Basically you have a peg in between all the pegs that you would have on the standard set, so it gives you a tighter knitting. So your first thing you're going to do is make a tube, just like a brimless hat or cuffless hat, and you want to make a tube on the 5-inch diameter loom that's approximately 4.5 inches long, and this is going to be the body of the hat. And then you want to just cut a piece of cardboard that fits in there, and I have chosen a cardboard that was a little narrow, and so it was not as stiff as I wanted it, so I put another one in it, and just insert your cardboard into your tube. So that's going to be the body of the hat. Then you want to loom knit again on the same 5-inch, approximately 5-inch diameter, another tube that is approximately 3.5 to 4 inches long, and then you're going to cinch up both ends so it makes a flat disc. Is basically what you've got. And if you watched the St. Patrick's Day video on how to make a pot of gold, and we made the little gold medallions, this is essentially what this is, only we're using, in that one we used the center of a Studio 12 vintage flower loom to make the small little coins. This one you just want to use the regular 5-inch, approximately 5-inch diameter one, and we're going to make this larger disc, and this is going to be the top of the hat when we sew it together. Then for the third part, you need to, that's where we're using the 62 peg or the 7-inch, approximately 7-inch diameter loom, and you need to knit that for approximately 6 inches long, and we're going to cinch that up into a disc as well, and that's going to be the base of our hat. So I've loom knitted all my parts here, and we're going to take this off of the loom. I'm going to take it off the loom just like we would a hat. Okay, I have it off the loom, and I'm just going to cinch it up. I'm going to cinch that up, and then I'm going to tie it off, and we're going to go cinch the other side too. So I'm just going to tie that around. I left myself ample yarn to do this, and then I'm going to poke it up through the hole here. We're going to cinch this other side because we just want this to be like a round disc. So I'm just going to go around it as if it was a drawstring purse. Yeah, now I'm going to sew that. So you want it to be as flat as possible, and you could even iron this if you have cotton. Do not iron acrylic, it will melt. But you could iron it if you're flat, if you used cotton or wool. I'm going to sew the top through to the bottom just so it's sort of one piece. Okay, leaving this yarn in here, choose which side I think looks the flattest. I'm going to go with this one. And I want to just going to pin it around to my base. I'm going to try to center it as much as possible, obviously. Once I have it on there, pinned on there, go around and I'm going to sew. Now I'm going to leave the cardboard in because I think it makes it easier, but if you don't like the cardboard in the body of the hat, you can take that out while you're sewing it and put it back in before we sew the top on. Now the good thing about this kind of yarn is it is very forgiving of all my stitches. Whip stitch, I'm going all the way through to the bottom too. Just keep sewing all the way around it. While I was doing this, I thought of another. You could also do little, you could use smaller looms to make top hats for bridal decorations too. One stitch to sort of secure it here. Now, push that. My cardboard seems to be a little tall, so I'm going. Okay, that's better. That's a little too tall there. All right, now on the top part, I have left a lot of yarn left over there, so I can go back and use that to sew it together with. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to do a whip stitch around the edges here. Alright, in order to pop that up, I'm going to sort of push that cardboard up there. Now, for the head little band that goes around it, you can pick whatever color you're going to want. And I made a buckle. I just cut a square of yellow, and then I cut the two things so I can actually weave my green band through just like it's a buckle. If you were doing Abraham Lincoln, you could just do black and just a black band. You could just do a red band. If you're sewing it for a wedding favor, you could just do the colors, whatever the colors of the wedding are. And I'm just getting a little bit of green thread. I'm just going to sew shape in there, push it down, and there we have our little top hat. So it was a real simple project, just 3 loom knitted pieces, and basically you're just doing 3 tubes. You're cinching the 2 to make flat disc, and you got one in the body, putting a piece of cardboard in there, cutting the optional felt hat band and optional felt buckle. You could even use a real buckle if you want, and that's it. So it's real cute, easy little top hat to make for St. Patrick's Day or President's Day, or like I said, a bridal shower favor or decor. And it's a real fast, easy little project. And you can change it up and you can make your top hat any color that you really wanted to if you didn't want to do a solid black. So this has been Angie from Canterbury Trails Farm, and I hope you enjoyed this short, little, easy project. I'll talk to you later. Bye.